It's no secret on this channel, I have a somewhat love-hate relationship with The Walking Dead. I've made videos criticising the character problem in The Walking Dead, and I've made a video praising Series 9 as one of the best series yet. In this video though, I'm going to look at the moment The Walking Dead died. Obviously The Walking Dead is not dead, but viewership has rapidly declined, with critic reviews on the show declining before more recently improving. It doesn't look like The Walking Dead will be regaining its huge viewership that it once had, and the show is definitely a shadow of its former powers. I understand this is still people's favourite shows, and well, that's great if it still is. This was my favourite show for a number of years, even during the awful seasons like Season 7. I stopped watching The Walking Dead after Season 9 despite praising that season as one of the best series yet. The problem with The Walking Dead is the elongated plot threads, many leading nowhere or just never being picked up again. A lot of people point to the finale of Season 6 as the day The Walking Dead died, with the infamous Negan baseball bat scene, and fans having to wait until the next season to find out who Negan had actually killed. Critics saw it as a blatant disregard for the fans and using cheap tricks in order to keep viewership numbers up during the obvious decline that was beginning. What I want to talk about is two moments early on in the show's history which demonstrate the direction in which the show was going, and where the two episodes which exemplify the problem The Walking Dead suffers from, even today. I've always hailed Season 3 as probably the second best series of The Walking Dead after Series 1, but the structure of the last two episodes was bizarre and culminated in a pretty bad series finale, in the infamous episode Welcome to the Tombs. For people who don't remember the Series 3 finale, essentially the whole series builds up to the final confrontation between Rick and the Governor. The whole series builds up the bad blood between the two characters and their ultimate battle. However, that's not how Series 3 ended. Instead of coming good on the build up and a promise of a final massive battle between the Governor and Rick, what instead happened was the Governor and his town of loyal followers charged the prison to attack Rick and the group. Rick's group ambushed them in a Home Alone style-esque attack of hijinks, with the Governor and his troops quickly retreating. The Governor then decided to get mad that his army was a bunch of pussies and gun them down. You know, just the normal leader stuff. It was a bizarre way to end a season which had basically built up to this moment and didn't come good on its promise. When I first watched this, I put it down to just bad screenwriting. Instead of thinking perhaps The Walking Dead was using some cheap tricks to keep audiences coming back with cliffhanger storylines. What followed in the first half of Season 4 was a tedious, slow-paced season which I really wish I could forget. The Governor goes into hiding with his two last remaining followers, who eventually leave his side, and the Governor begins caring for a family, before finding a new group of which he becomes the leader, and then swears revenge on Rick and his group. This brings us round full circle to where we finally have Rick and the Governor's ultimate confrontation in the episode Too Far Gone. There was no need for another 8 episodes, and I think these two episodes, Too Far Gone and Welcome to the Tombs, is where The Walking Dead died and showed that ideas were running thin. The problem is, during this 8 episode run between the Governor acquiring a new group and having his fight with Rick, we don't really learn anything about the characters. Rick is now a farmer and started the Farmer Rick memes, but we learn very little about his character. We understand his state of mind is now at peace and he doesn't wish to be the leader of the group, but we know that it's going to change once the Governor comes a knocking, so why does this plot thread even matter? The point of these 8 episodes is to learn about the characters, mainly the Governor, but we already learned enough about him in Series 3, and we don't really learn anything about him here in these 8 episodes. The show tries to draw you into thinking the Governor is somewhat reformed and doesn't want to be a leader, but we all know that is a lie. This half of the series continues at such a meandering pace before then this storyline is finally concluded, half a series late. And to be honest, I'm surprised viewership didn't drop more during these 8 episodes. But being the first time The Walking Dead used this trick to keep viewers on board, it's not surprising most fans probably just assumed it was bad screenwriting. This is a problem The Walking Dead has suffered throughout its run, the meandering pace of storylines which lead down roads to nowhere. We're given 8 extra episodes of the Governor, which I was excited for. David Morrissey was fantastic as the character. But in these 8 episodes, what changed? What did we learn? How did it affect our protagonists? Well, to be honest, we didn't learn anything and it didn't affect our protagonists in any way. We knew our main characters would leave the prison, and the governor would have something to do with that. But why did it have to be a different group from the governor's old legion of followers? It makes no difference, and this is where the flaws of the show really began to creep in. Welcome to the Tombs and Too Far Gone are not the worst episodes in The Walking Dead, but they definitely exemplify the limitations of The Walking Dead. It shows that The Walking Dead was willing to draw out storylines just to keep viewers on board and dangle a carrot for a finale fans were hoping for. To be honest, Too Far Gone should be Welcome to the Tombs, and this storyline should have wrapped up at the end of series 3, or it should not have been teased that the actual battle was going to happen. It's the constant delaying of story which hurts The Walking Dead massively. There are 10 seasons of the show, but it only feels like 5 seasons worth of storytelling has actually been told, with so many episodes being chalked up to just filler episodes. And I think the problem lies with the amount of episodes a series. The Walking Dead only has a certain amount of source material to draw from, of which they have almost completely exhausted, but unsurprisingly, they have slowed down in the amount of comics used now. If you look at a show like Breaking Bad, which had a 13 episode run except for series 1 and 5, and Breaking Bad was a tightly compacted show with clear story each season, compare that to The Walking Dead, which has a 16 episode run each season, with season 1 only having 6 episodes, and is easily the best season thanks in part to the tight, concise storytelling. The Walking Dead simply does not have enough content to use for these 16 episodes, so has elongated everything they do. Another framing example, Glenn's death, which took around 5 episodes to be resolved. Comics are not all that long, so stretching out a 200 issue series to 10 seasons of television takes a lot of additional ideas added to these stories, of which The Walking Dead has been lacking in ideas for. Is season 4 of The Walking Dead the worst series? Probably not, no, but I feel it was definitely the beginning of the end, with the first half of the series devoted to the governor regaining his troops in a pointless storyline which added nothing to the character, to the group spending the second half of the series wandering the forest before finally coming across Terminus before lights out, see you next season.
They're fucking with the wrong people.
It's strange to have a show which the first half of the season is completely designated to capping off the end of series 3 before then restarting the series in a whole new location. Season 4 of The Walking Dead to me though felt like where the major problems with the screenwriting were truly beginning to show, and the problems which were becoming more apparent to The Walking Dead did less to address them until, well, it was too late and the viewership is but a shadow of what it once was. The 2 episodes I've quoted, Welcome to the Tombs and Too Far Gone, aren't exactly the worst episodes made by The Walking Dead, and actually I think they are both pretty good episodes. The problem is everything in between. You have 7 episodes between Welcome to the Tombs and Too Far Gone, of which nothing really happens, and we've had 7 episodes of storytelling to just end up in exactly the same position we was at the end of series 3, and it just feels like a complete waste of time watching the show when it's not willing to finally close off storylines and just wants to elongate them out in order to keep your attention. It's a cheap trick, and The Walking Dead has done this a lot, and I think this is where the beginning of the end started for the show, as fans became tired of this method of storytelling. And for me, Welcome to the Tombs and Too Far Gone are the examples of how The Walking Dead died and is the day The Walking Dead died, and these 2 episodes are perfect examples of where the bad screenwriting began to take a hold of The Walking Dead, and we are in the position we are in now where there's not many viewers compared to the huge numbers The Walking Dead was bringing in at one time.